All right, get ready, because today we're going deep, really deep, into the secrets of building a marriage that can withstand, well, pretty much anything.
A bulletproof marriage.
Yeah, it's a bulletproof marriage.
Yeah.
Now, you sent over these excerpts from Together We Stand.
Yes.
That's Anthony and Latoya Odell. This couple has navigated the ups and downs.
The roller coaster.
Yeah, the roller coaster of marriage for, gosh, over 2 decades.
Over 2 decades, that's right. And what I really appreciate about their book is how honest they are about, what it really takes to build a lasting, fulfilling relationship. But they do it in a way that's just so hopeful.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about being real,
Exactly, exactly.
So let's jump right in. Okay, one of the first things that really hit me was how much they emphasize laying a solid foundation.
Yes.
Even before getting engaged.
Absolutely. And I think that's where a lot of couples go wrong,
Yeah.
They get caught up in the romance, the excitement of the wedding, and they don't take the time to really, truly get to know each other on a deeper level.
Like beyond just liking the same movies.
Yeah, beyond surface level stuff.
Yeah.
It's about understanding each other's values.
Oh, values.
Beliefs, how you approach life's challenges, those really fundamental things.
It's almost like having a shared blueprint for how you're going to build your future together.
So exactly. And they have this great analogy in the book. They compare it to planning a trip.
Okay.
Imagine thinking you're going on this relaxing beach vacation, and then you suddenly find yourself on this hardcore hiking expedition, with no preparation.
Right.
It's like, whoa, this isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
And that's what the Odals are trying to prevent.
Mm.
They really encourage couples to have those tough conversations early on.
Before the ring.
Before the ring, yeah.
Yeah.
And they even pose this question to readers.
Okay.
Are there areas where we've just assumed alignment without truly discussing them?
That is such a good question. And I think it's relevant not just for couples who are thinking about marriage, but
Oh, absolutely.
for those who are already married.
Yeah.
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 So what are some of those big conversations that they say couples really need to have before even getting engaged?
Well, they talk about things like finances, right?
Finances.
How are you going to handle money as a couple? Kids, do you want to have them? How many? How will you raise them? And even something as simple as, where do you see yourself living in 5-10 years? These are all these fundamental things that can cause major conflict down the line if they're not addressed.
Yeah, like setting the stage for a successful partnership, really.
Yeah, it's about building a shared vision for your future together.
And they're pretty upfront about this myth that once you get married, happily ever after
Oh, they debunk that right away.
magically appears.
Yeah, they're like, wake up, people. It's not a fairy tale. They redefine happily ever after as something you actively create. It's an ongoing process.
A journey.
It is. It's a journey of building, nurturing, adapting together.
So it's not a destination, it's a journey. And speaking of building, they introduced this really fascinating concept called the 5 pillars of a thriving marriage.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
They outlined 5 essential pillars: companionship, romance, completeness, protection, and fun.
And they stress these pillars need constant attention.
Oh, yeah. It's not a one-time thing. You can't just set them up and forget about them.
Like a garden.
Exactly. Like a garden, you got to water it, weed it, fertilize it if you want it to thrive.
I love that they emphasize incorporating fun into everyday life.
Yes. It's not just about saving it for vacations or special occasions.
Oh, date nights.
No, it's about finding those little ways to make even mundane things enjoyable, Like they actually challenge couples to turn errands into a race.
Oh, I love that.
I know, right? It's about keeping things light, playful, reminding yourselves why you enjoy being together in the first place.
And it ties right back into that companionship pillar.
It does. It does.
Right. If you're not having fun with your partner doing like everyday stuff,
Right. The everyday stuff.
then maybe you need to rethink.
Yeah, it's a good point, right? Like if you can't find those moments of joy and connection in the midst of the everyday chaos, then maybe there's a bigger issue at play.
And it challenges this whole idea that you have to be complete as individuals before you can even enter into a marriage.
Oh, yeah, they push back on that for sure.
They're like, it's not about finding someone to fill a void.
No, it's about building something greater together.
Yeah, I love that.
And they believe that marriage itself can actually contribute to your completeness.
It's about recognizing each other's strengths.
Yeah. Strengths,
Yeah.
weaknesses, and allowing that partnership to make you both stronger.
It's beautiful. It's empowering.
It is. It's about embracing the journey of growth and transformation that happens within a committed relationship.
Okay, this leads us to the question that they pose to readers. Which of these pillars,
Out of 5.
right, out of the 5, feels the strongest in your relationship?
Oh, that's a good one.
And which one might need a little more attention?
It's like a self-checkup for your marriage,
No.
like where were we thriving and where could we use some work?
Okay, so the Odals also have this really refreshing take on the idea of love.
Love, yes.
This idea of falling in love.
But like falling in love is easy, staying in love, that's the real challenge.
That's the work.
That's the work.
So they're not just talking about falling in love, they're talking about
Growing in love.
growing in love, yes.
Okay.
So it's about making a conscious effort.
Yeah, being intentional.
It's about exercising discipline
Yeah.
and actively supporting each other's growth.
Love as an action, not just a feeling.
I like that. Love is a verb.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
And to really illustrate this, Anthony shares this really beautiful, moving description in the book.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about looking at LaToya and seeing this profound sense of peace and power emanating from her.
Wow.
He describes their love as a source of strength and tranquility.
That's a powerful image.
It is, right. It really highlights how love, when it's nurtured intentionally, can become this safe haven.
A shelter.
A shelter, a source of resilience in the face of, all the storms that life throws at you. And speaking of resilience,
Oh, here we go.
the Odals are very real about the fact that every marriage, every single one, will face challenges.
As life happens.
Life happens, exactly.
So how do they suggest navigating those inevitable obstacles?
Well, they emphasize approaching those challenges as a team.
Oh, there's that word again?
It's a recurring theme, right? It's about having that shared commitment to finding solutions together.
Together.
They don't sugarcoat the difficulties, but they really underscore the strength that comes from facing that adversity side by side.
Then they're willing to get personal.
Oh, yeah. They share a very personal experience in the book about their daughter's diagnosis of type 1 diabetes.
Wow, so they're really putting it all out there.
They are, and they talk about how this challenge, while incredibly difficult, ultimately drew them closer as a couple.
It's a powerful reminder that challenges, even the really painful ones, can actually be opportunities.
For growth.
Yeah, for growth and deeper connection, if you approach them with that united front.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so the Odals also dedicate a significant portion of the book to the importance of communication.
Communication, yes, which goes way beyond just words.
Right.
They talk about clear, open, and honest communication, of course, but they also highlight the importance of nonverbal cues.
Like body language.
Body language, tone of voice, the unspoken emotions, and just really seeing your partner.
And Anthony has this great line about LaToya where he describes her ability to...
Read him like a book.
Yeah, basically.
He's like, she just knows what I'm feeling, even when I don't. They have this unspoken language.
It's beautiful.
It is. It speaks to a level of intimacy and connection that goes beyond the surface. It's about being attuned to your partner's needs and emotions, even the ones that aren't explicitly stated.
And they do give some really practical advice for improving communication, right?
Oh, yeah. They introduce this great concept called the mirroring principle.
The mirroring principle. Tell me more.
Basically, it encourages you to reflect back what you've heard your partner say, just to make sure you're really listening.
Oh, so it's not about waiting for your turn to talk.
No, it's about making sure you understand their perspective before you jump in with your own.
So you're on the same page.
Exactly, and it's such a simple technique, but it can really prevent misunderstandings.
Avoid those fights.
Avoid those fights, yeah. And they also encourage readers to think back to a recent disagreement and ask themselves, could better communication have prevented this? It's a powerful question. It invites us to really examine our own communication patterns.
See where we can improve.
Exactly. And I think that's what I love about the Odals approach, Yeah. They're not just telling us what to do, they're giving us the tools to figure it out for ourselves.
I know, right? It's not like a rule book. It's more like a guide.
A roadmap.
A roadmap.
For navigating the complexities of marriage.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground here, but this is really just the beginning.
Oh, we're just getting started.
There's so much more to unpack from Anthony and LaToya's insights.
We've got 2 more parts of this deep dive.
Stay tuned for more.